One of the high points of any graduation ceremony is the commencement address. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you today's commencement speaker, Mr. Louis DiLorenzo. Mr. Louis P. DiLorenzo, Esquire, is a managing member of Bond, Schoeneck & King Law Firm's Westchester office and co-managing member of its New York City office. After many years as chair of the Labor and Employment Law Department of the firm, he became and still is chair of Bond's Labor, Employment, Employee Benefit, and Immigration practice. Lou started his career within the Labor Department and has grown to be one of the top lawyers in the United States. A prolific speaker and writer, Lou has authored and co-authored numerous articles on various labor and employment law topics and has been a keynote speaker at numerous seminars throughout the United States and internationally. Throughout his significant career, Lou has made profound and enduring contributions to the body of law that concerns labor, employment, and the workplace. He has also been included in the Chamber's USA list for labor and employment and 500 leading U.S. corporate employment lawyers, as well as named as a top 10 labor lawyer in the United States by Human Resource Executive Magazine and installed into the Corporate Attorneys Hall of Fame. This year, he was once again named by Law Dragon as one of the top 500 corporate attorneys in America. Additionally, Lou has served his profession in a wide variety of roles, including as past chair of the New York State Bar Association's Labor and Employment Law section, in his current role on the New York State Bar Association Task Force on COVID-19 Immunity and Liability, and as an adjunct professor in Syracuse University's Whitman School of Management. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Louis DiLorenzo.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, an honor to be here. I want to thank the Board of Trustees for inviting me, Dr. Elizio especially, all the faculty and administration, and a privilege to personally thank three of the presidents, Dr. Nietzsche, who's here, Dr. Meston, Dr. Pageant, who's not here, but those are the three presidents that I had the honor and privilege of serving as their counsel for the last 31 years. Truly a pleasure. And I certainly want to congratulate all the graduates today and their family and friends who supported them through their experience, which is always important. But, this time it's especially important with what you had to go through in terms of staying on track to graduate on time. So, always one of my dreams, although I never thought I would achieve it, it wasn't on an actual list, but I always wished that I could be a commencement speaker at a college. And about 20 years ago, I said to my wife, Debbie, who's in the audience, I said, geez, I hope someday I get to give a commencement speech at a college. And she said, that'll never happen. The only way that could happen, and by the way, she and I grew up and went to school, high school in Waterloo, right near here, who I'm sure a lot of you know where it is. And our permanent residence is just down the road on Route 89. We don't live very far from here. So she said the only way that's going to happen is if someday there's a worldwide pandemic and we live near a college and they can't get anybody to travel to be the commencement speaker. And so here we are. And this also proves one of my theories, which is behind every man that thinks he's successful, not necessarily successful, but thinks he's successful, there's a very loyal woman rolling her eyes. So here we are. So now I was honored with this daunting task of trying to give a commencement address that I hope would be memorable for you graduates and your families. And it got very hard to do. I mean, this is out of my box. I'm just a lawyer. And this was difficult. So the first thing lawyers do when they get something they're not familiar with is they start to do research. Our whole life is based on cases and precedent that's been decided already. We live by a term called stare decisis, which means stand by prior decisions. So we look to see, so I start to research all the issues and themes that are done at commencement addresses. And I find various percentages of themes that are used. I find that about 75% of all commencement speeches deal with things like telling the graduates how they're going to deal with change, that nothing stays the same. It either gets better or it gets worse, but it doesn't stay the same. That's one of the themes. Another theme is you've got to think positively. You've got to avoid negative people and negative thoughts and always be thinking about how you can overcome a current problem you're having. Positive thinking. You've got to think about, one of the other messages is overcoming adversity. And we all know what that is. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to never quit. So those 5 themes comprise 75% of the messages that are done at commencement. So I say to myself, how can I give a talk on any one of those themes to these people? These people went through a worldwide pandemic in a curriculum that is designed to teach you to put hands on other people. You're totally shut down. You're a school that's taught in person with hands-on approach to people. And you not only went through that, did remote learning and practiced and opened under circumstances that were unprecedented. You were the first school in New York State, first school of higher education to open, the first school to open during the pandemic. You were and it was a school that had students living on campus and a school that had students touching each other. It was amazing. And the only way it happened was because of the efforts of your administration, the efforts and work of your board of trustees, the efforts of your faculty and your clinicians, and all the things that you did, and all the phone calls you made to the people in the back rows to talk about how difficult things were. But you stayed with it. Like Dr. Lizio said, you didn't quit. And what's remarkable to me is you finished on time. There was no delay in your graduation. We're here today on the day that was always planned for you to graduate. It's remarkable. So am I now going to stand up in front of you and say, listen, you've got to work on overcoming adversity. You've got to become tougher. You've got to figure out how to not to quit. I can't do that. So all my research was in vain. I couldn't use any of those themes. And now I was driving in New York City one day, and the car in front of me had a bumper sticker on it. And the bumper sticker said, "Find your purpose." Now, you may laugh at bumper stickers, but to me, bumper stickers are very important. Bumper stickers are the windows into people's soul, in my mind, not their eyes. It's the bumper stickers. If I have a jury trial and I'm selecting prospective jurors, every one of those jurors, at the end of my cross-examination, as I walk back to my seat, I turn and say, "Oh, by the way, does anybody have any bumper stickers on their car?" And when they raise their hands, I say, "Well, what do the bumper stickers say?" Because that bumper sticker will tell me everything about that person. And I'll know whether I want them on our case or not on our case. So I see this bumper sticker, and it says, "Find your purpose." And I'm looking for all kinds of signs to come up with a theme for this talk. And so I saw that one and said, wow, find your purpose. And within a few minutes, I realized, you've already found your purpose. You have your purpose. You're doctors of chiropractic as of today. You're going to take the oath in a few minutes. You found your purpose. So I can't give you some hints on how to find your purpose. You found it already. So I went back to the drawing board and I came up with a new thought about how to enhance your purpose. And enhancing your purpose is trying to explain to you how you need to be able to match your purpose with passion. Now, there's great confusion in the world, I find, between purpose and passion. Purpose is the path that you choose. Mark Twain said, the two most important days in your life are the day that you're born and the day that you figure out why. Okay? And that's today. Although you decided this earlier, you're now going to be doctors of chiropractic. So that's your purpose. You only get one purpose, by the way. You get a lot of passions, but you only get one purpose. So there's a circle of purpose. And for you, it's doctor of chiropractic and whatever else you choose to do with that degree. The other circle is passion. Now these are different. Passion is your energy, your enthusiasm, the thing that you love, the thing that you crave, the thing that you want to do. And you can have more than one passion. The reason I say you can only have one purpose and have more than one passion is because, like, when we ask people, what's your purpose in life? We don't say, what are your purposes in life? We say, what's your purpose? We all have one purpose. When we talk about passions, we can say, what are your passions? Golf. I like to play cards. I like to do different things. My family's my passion. You can have several passions. In your pursuit of happiness, and it is a pursuit, right? I'd be remiss as a lawyer if I didn't mention the Constitution. Our United States Constitution only has three things that it deals with, really. It's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A lot of time was spent on picking those words. The first two are guarantees. The government can guarantee us some life and some liberty, but they can't guarantee us happiness. And they argued about what the phraseology should be. And in the end, they chose, I think, the right phraseology. They said, we will guarantee the pursuit of happiness. You can try to find it. You can look for it. It involves making decisions. Your happiness is going to be driven by the decisions that you make. So it's there. You have the opportunity. I'm telling you now, and I hope maybe somebody will remember this, I'm telling you now that if you apply passion to your purpose, you'll be a long way to achieving the happiness that you pursue, if you apply the passion to it. I mentioned before the three presidents, Nietzsche, Paget, and Meston, all passionate about their profession, all passionate about this school. That's why the things that they accomplished were accomplished. Now, when we talk about, so every day we have a chance to experience in every walk of life people that have passion that aligns or intersects with their purpose. We see it with airline attendants. I see it with janitors. We certainly see it with teachers. As good as your faculty is, there are some that you believe are better than others. And I say it's not because one's smarter than the other, and it's not because one works harder than the other. It's because one's more passionate than the other about what they do. We see it every walk of life, you see it. People that go the extra mile, people that you say, wow, that person's in the right job. They love doing what they do. That's what gives that extra energy, that extra ability to pursue excellence, that ability to go above and beyond. That's what it does. And if you are lucky enough to align your purpose with passion, with one of your passions, you'll see all kinds of indications that that's happening. All kinds of benefits flow from that. You really never work a day in your life. If you have passion for your purpose, it's not a job. It's not work. It's hard to call it work. It's the same pleasure as you get from anything else. You'll experience work or stress when you have to do things that you don't like. You won't experience it with things that you have passion about. You won't worry so much about work-life balance. I know I'm a dinosaur when it comes to talking about work-life balance. I try to accommodate people that believe in it, but frankly, I'm not a big fan. because in my life, I was passionate about my purpose. There was almost a perfect correlation between my passion and my purpose of being a labor lawyer. And I was lucky. But because of that, there isn't any work-life balance. There's just life. Big part of my life is my family. Big part of my life is my purpose as a labor lawyer. So I don't resent those things. I don't always have to get paid for what I do. I don't always have to turn cases down for different reasons. It's passionate. I do it because I want to do it, because I love it. You'll continue to learn, and the oath that you're going to take shortly to become a doctor of chiropractic, it mentions lifelong and continuous learning. If you're passionate about your purpose, you don't have to keep track of that oath. I promised I would continuously learn. You don't do it because you love what you do and you strive for excellence and you're always looking for ways to help your patients. How can I help solve my patients' problems? You'll automatically be continuously learning and supporting your profession. The other thing that'll happen is you will attract other people that feel the way you do because you want to be around them. You want to be around people that are passionate about what you're passionate about. At cocktail parties, you're going to be in the kitchen with them talking about treatment theories and the latest in different issues involving healthcare. That's what you're passionate about. You're going to be boring because you're passionate about that, but you're going to seek other people. They're going to find you and you're going to find them. You're going to daydream. When you're mowing the lawn or driving your car, you're going to be daydreaming about solving a problem for a patient. How can I change that treatment plan? This doesn't seem to be working. You're going to be thinking about those things because you're going to be passionate about your purpose. You're going to chase excellence. You're always going to be trying to help the people that you've chosen to help. One of the things that you're not going to do enough of, frankly, is you're not going to celebrate your success enough because you're always going to be worried about moving on to the new thing. But you need to celebrate the success of today. You need to celebrate what you all went through to get where we are today. The faculty needs to celebrate it. The administration needs to celebrate. I'm going to ask everyone to join me in all of us celebrating what you did to get to this spot today. It's a huge pat on the back that you all deserve. The last thing I'll say is that if you're passionate about your purpose and you get to be like me, the 70-year-old man that maybe some of the younger people in the office say, when the hell is he going to retire? You don't want to retire. You don't think about retiring because this is part of your life. This is your passion. I'm not interested in chasing a pension. I want to chase my passion. And that's what I want and hope for all of you. If you're lucky, like I was, I married a woman who allowed me to chase my passion my entire life. I hope for you the same thing that I was lucky enough to get. And I'm going to leave you with a famous quote because when I went on the internet, they said if you give a commencement speech at the end, you should leave them all with a famous quote. And it should be from a famous philosopher or a famous person. And so my person is Mae West, that famous philosopher, American philosopher. And she said this, it's pretty profound. You only live once. You only live once. But if you do it right, once is enough. Thank you very much and good luck to all of you.